Okay, so the type of music that I'm currently working on is what I consider a mixture of pop and R&B music because that's where I got my inspiration from. So, as an R&B and pop artist, singer, songwriter, why don't I usually make songs or lyrics about love, sex, and romance? And my answer to this question is that because I haven't experienced that. And at this point, you should be asking me the question, why haven't I experienced that? Why can't I simply go out and start dating, get into a relationship, and experience all of that so I can sing about it? And my answer will be that it's because I've been struggling with my gender identity and I've been questioning my gender for years. So what led me to this in the kind of struggle in the first place is that I was raised by a mother who is really strict about stuff that has to do with sex and gender. She's always needed me to be really respectful of women, especially when that comes to personal spaces. She doesn't allow me to touch any woman. She doesn't allow me to approach them. And later in life, I noticed that she is actually really critical and sensitive about the male sexuality. I mean, unnecessarily so. And I noticed that because of how she reacted to the stuff that we've all seen on Netflix shows, of like how she responded to the thumbnails that we saw on social media such as YouTube and Instagram. That's how I noticed it. Besides that, later in life, when I was in what do you call that? In middle school and high school, there are always gonna be some people who are really inconsiderate about you, and they tend to criticize you regardless of who you are. They tend to insist on believing and telling you about something that they think they knew about the male sexuality, but that is actually totally false. And that had a negative impact on my life growing up. Later on, according to what I saw on the news media, about like sex or related crimes, I tend to notice that it is almost exclusively caused by the male sexuality. All right, I noticed that the male sexuality it causes like sexual assault, sexual harassment, and etc. But the female sexuality doesn't cause any of those problems at all. And besides that, there are also other things that happened to me in life that led me to having a negative experience with my masculinity. For example, I've always known that I'm straight. I mean, I'm heterosexual, so my struggles didn't come from being gay or lesbian or pansexual like a lot of the other gender minorities that I know about. And what these experiences led me to believing at the end of the day is that I ended up seeing my masculinity as a problem. I ended up not talking to people about it and not working on it like I should have been normally. And I ended up seeing my so-called normal sexual orientation, my normal sexuality as a complete liability in life. I ended up believing that it is something that can only cause problems and is something that the society doesn't need at all. Yeah, that's what I ended up believing in, and I'm ended up becoming really afraid that people will not be able to accept or tolerate my normal sexuality at all. Uh, Despite that, I've always known that it is normal. It is what you are supposed to be like. So, and I mean, having a mindset like that, it eventually changed the way I identify myself personally over time. I mean, it changed my gender identity as I grew older and I discovered more about people's gender identities and according to like what I experienced in work and in studying and on the internet, like that. So to sum up this video, the reason why I don't make songs about love, sex, and romance is because I haven't experienced that. And why I haven't experienced that is actually a long and complicated story that led me to developing a twisted mindset about that how should I say that? I ended up developing a twisted, not really twisted, but distorted belief about something that's supposed to be totally normal to you. So that's all I want to say in this video, so thank you for watching.